Hi, Clayton. This is Darrell. I have a question. My question is, how would you market to those people that are about to lose their home to tax delinquent? How would you go about, contacting those people and finding out where they are to see if they want to sell?
Great question. So this is a wholesale approach, right? This is a person. Now, for those of you who don't know my story, I started out doing wholesaling years ago, and I would spend about $12,000 a month in direct mail marketing, mailing all kinds of lists throughout New Jersey. And so, tax delinquent, 100% equity homeowners, vacant landlords, or I'm sorry, tired landlords that are not living in the property, that live states away, and I would mail to them. All of those strategies, sending postcards and yellow letters and everything. So I have a deep understanding of this. Tax delinquent in New Jersey was always difficult because in New Jersey, property taxes were so stinking high. And so it might appear on paper at the county level that this particular homeowner is wildly tax delinquent, when in fact they might have just missed like 1 or 2 months of tax payments. And it looks like, oh my gosh, if you live in Nebraska, you're like, whoa, $4,000 tax delinquent. That person must be ready to like sell that house because they're tax delinquent. No, in New Jersey, that could literally be like 2 months of taxes. So you need to be careful. In fact, I got in trouble sometimes when I would send a tax delinquent letter to somebody saying, we're buying properties in this area. And there are a couple of different postcards and strategies, but basically not referencing the fact that they're in trouble, but letting them know that we are interested in buying homes in this neighborhood. We are home builders or something like that. And we're interested in buying your home. We'd be love to talk with you about it. And if someone is tax delinquent, it's basically, in many ways, it's like them putting up their hand saying, we just can't afford this home. And sadly, you might say to yourself, well, that might be, it's taking advantage of someone. Or it's not. You could be able to swoop in and actually help them out of a jam and actually buy the property from them, pay off their back taxes so they don't end up with this blemish on their record, permanently. So it could be a way of helping someone if the numbers make sense. So, sending them a letter, letting them know that you're interested in buying homes in this neighborhood, pulling the tax delinquent list. And I know there's a whole bunch of different lists. I'm not up on the latest list building process. I haven't done it in a number of years. You can usually get these at the county level, and I'm sure that there are aggregators out there that are able to provide you with a tax delinquent list. And then you want to look at how many months delinquent. Again, if you're in a high property tax area, I would caution you against that because they might be highly offended. I definitely had phone calls where I talked to homeowners who were like, why would you call, why were you sending me a letter? I'm 2 months behind on my taxes and it's all paid off now. Why are you calling me? So be very careful about that kind of stuff. But if you are in areas where property taxes are very cheap and you notice that a family has had this property, they inherited it, they just haven't kept it up, they live 5 states away, they're not taking care of the property, grandma passed away and left them the property and they don't want to do anything with it, the house is tax delinquent now, you sending that person a letter states away might actually be a godsend for them, and a way for you to offer them a great price on this property because it needs a ton of work and it's behind on taxes. Like, you might be their angel, honestly. And that's the way to kind of look at it in that way. It's like, hey, I noticed this house has been sitting there. There's some back taxes that are owed on the property. We happen to be buying properties in this particular neighborhood. We'd be interested in talking with you if you're interested in selling this house. Here's my phone number. And it's as simple as that. And then you send them that letter and they call you, and you have a voicemail box that's set up specifically for that, whatever it is, a Google Voice number or something else. And you you start that process. So I hope you find that helpful, Darrell. You're giving me flashbacks to my wholesaling days. I used to be making 100 phone calls a day back in the day. So thank you, Darrell, for that. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. Just go to morrisinvest.com/Clayton. You can leave us a voicemail question, and we will attempt to answer it here on the show. Try to keep them to about 30 seconds or less if you can. Now, go out there, take action, become a real estate investor. I believe it's the number one way to build wealth. We'll see you next time, everyone.